Hi, I'm Carolina Rodriguez Plaza. This is breaking news in WTVN. Governor Ricardo Rosselló announced that the Puerto Rico Fiscal Agency and Financial Advisory Authority and the Government Development Bank of Puerto Rico GDB have entered into a restructuring support agreement known as RSA with a significant portion of its major stakeholders. Pursuant to Title VI of the Puerto Rico Oversight Management and Economic Stability Act, the RSA terms will be implemented pursuant to a Title VI concession restructuring plan for the GDB. Once approved by the requisite creditors of GDB, the Financial Oversight and Management Board for Puerto Rico, and the United States District Court for the District of Puerto Rico, the plan as implemented will provide for GDB's financial creditors, including holders of bonds and depositors, to exchange their claims against GDB for one of three tranches of bonds issued by a new municipal entity at each creditor's election. These new bonds will have varying principal amounts, interest rates, collateral priority, and other payment terms. As part of the terms of the RSA, GDB's financial creditors have agreed to a substantial discount to the principal. The restructuring does not depend on any funds from the Commonwealth General Fund. The RSA also contemplates a cash payment to Puerto Rico's municipalities that hold accounts in the GDB. This agreement comes after the RSA already achieved by the AFFAF, representing the Puerto Rico Electric Power Authority, the ad hoc group of prepaid bondholders, suppliers of fuel credit lines, monoline insurers, and the Economic Development Bank of Puerto Rico, which achieved savings of $2 billion for the people of Puerto Rico. Governor Rosselló thanked the AAFAF, the GDB, and the creditors who achieved this agreement for their commitment during 2 months of work and negotiations in good faith. Likewise, Ricardo Rosselló, Executive Director of AAFFS, said that this transaction is the result of extensive good faith negotiations and underscores the administration's commitment policy of reaching consensual agreement with creditors. Meanwhile, the ad hoc group of GDB bondholders said that it is pleased to be participating in this restructuring support agreement. Bradley Mayer of Duzera Partners, financial advisor to the ad hoc group, said that despite the difficulty and complexity of the negotiations, GDB, AAFAF, and the current administration have worked with stakeholders, including the ad hoc group, the Bonistas del Patio, and participating cooperativas in a responsible, transparent, and collaborative manner to reach agreement on a voluntary restructuring of the GDB that is fair to all parties. The ad hoc group looks forward for the completion of definitive documentation and the prompt implementation of the RSA under Title VI of PROMESA. At the same time, Rafael Rojo, spokesman for Bonistas del Patio, stressed that while we are voluntarily accepting to sustain a significant losses up to 45% of the saving that Puerto Ricans worked for, it is because we are Puerto Ricans first and we recognize the circumstances in which Puerto Rico is today. He added that the transaction announced today achieved a fair and reasonable agreement for local bondholders that will allow them to recover a significant portion of their invested principal by understanding the circumstances of the GDB. Meanwhile, the Alianza de Cooperativas held that it is important to highlight the transparency of the government by opening the GDB books without reservation, as well as offering and explaining the details necessary to reach this agreement.